This is Rover Red. Welcome to the Otherwhere. If you would like to help Rover Red survive her perilous journey, please go to roverredpodcast.com/vote. You could submit your suggestions, vote on what Rover Red does next, or join the Rover Council. The Rover Council is free to join, and they receive access to 3 unpublished prequel episodes of Rover Red, as well as special polls hidden on secret, password-protected pages. They act as Rover Red's collective unconscious. Rover Red is completely reader-guided, so make your decisions carefully. Voices floated around Leah, fading in and out. Her skull is fractured. Oh, Silt, that's a ton of blood. Suction. Are you sure you... Was she born in death? No explanation for the bone loss unless... Leah opened her eyes, clenching them closed again almost immediately. Bright light shone down into her eyes. She tried to sit up, but found she was strapped down.
Evie, what happened?
The Rover Council betrayed you.
Why does my head hurt?
You have sustained multiple concussions. Although I am not sure that I agree with them, the Conquest doctors believed it to be in your best interest to repair some of the damaged brain tissue when they found...
Repair it how?
I am unsure.
Is Jonah okay?
I am unsure. You were taken to surgery once Sasha saw blood dripping from your ear.
What happened to Nightshade? That dead life soldier turned on that hose and then...
Nightshade should... Leah, the Rover Council has... Yeah?
They've made a decision. I know. I can hear the tone. I heard it just before they ruined everything for me. I don't know what they would be making a decision on, though. Maybe something that will get me killed this time? Finish the job?
I think you should.
You think I should hear what they have to say? Me too. Who knows what they'll get me into next? Play it. If this decision is another wild card, pitch it to the Silt.
Wild card? Pitch?
Read the decision, Evie.
Leah, the previous decision the Rover Council reached was wrong. Our decisions have been putting you in danger, and we apologize. There was a 1-vote difference between the top 2 decisions. We've made mistakes, even if we should not have. We trust you and your ability to make good decisions. We know you will go against our choice if you feel like we are in the wrong. We trust you, Rover. Maybe our interactions from now on will help us regain your trust. The Rover Council. Leah?
What?
Do you have any instructions?
No.
Attendants entered the room hourly, changing lines attached to Leah's arms as well as replacing the bandage on her head. They did not attempt to speak to her, and Leah didn't bother speaking to them.
Read it.
Leah, I sent this to you with only your safety on my mind. During the last voting session of the council, things went wrong. A group banded together out of thin air and, unlike everyone else on the council, seemed to want to do more harm than good. To counter their efforts, I have brought together my own group strong enough to protect you from their malicious intent. I am not the only one here that wants what is best for you. I won't let anything like this happen again to you, I swear. We are currently doing all we can to counter their actions and make up for them. Ash. Leah?
What?
Do you have any other instructions?
No. Just read it.
Leah, our decision directly contradicted your desires and deal, and so we put you in danger. We trust you deeply to do what you believe is right, and you are strong. We made a mistake, and we hope to fix that in every message we send from here on in. And if you continue to rely on your own instincts and also trust that we have your best intentions at heart, Speaker, you can do amazing things. Maya. Leah?
I don't have any other silting instructions, Evie. I'm strapped down and I can't do anything.
Greetings. Regan, Haley, Tina, and Clara have enabled Conclave. Node 1 of Skyweb is now active and online. Warning. Activation of all nodes can take up to 2 weeks. Once activated, this service cannot be shut down.
Evie? Was that you?
No.
You heard that too, though, right?
Yes, my system was momentarily hijacked in order to play you that message.
What was it?
From what was said, it appears that Conclave has been enabled.
The secret society?
Yes.
Search the Book of Rover for mentions of Conclave.
Searching. Complete. There is one mention of Conclave. Would you
Read it.
Shortly after Conquest in Prison Speaker Prime, a group came together in secret to build an apparatus in order to protect any and all future speakers from falling into the wrong hands. This group is said to have originated out of the province of War. It is rumored that they modify Conquest technology to fit whatever end goals they have in mind. They are said to use a flower that is now extinct as their symbol. The lotus.
How?
The door to Leah's room slid open and a man entered. His white hair stood up in disheveled clumps, and he breathed in and out as though he'd been running. "Leah," the man said between quick wheezes. "I didn't think I would be the one that would have to tell you this, but time is short. I implanted a conclave override within your skull. You can use it to..." The man with the white hair wheezed a final time after 2 sharp tentacles of silt shot up from beneath the floor and impaled him. In the door to Leah's room, she could see 2 dead life soldiers. They wore glowing, hardened armor that covered them from head to toe. A blue spot at the center of each of their helmets, right where their nose would have been, pulsed lazily. 2 hands appeared between their shoulders, parting the 2 soldiers. Sasha entered as the spike seemed to melt away.
Why did you kill him?
Sasha tilted her head to the side and frowned at Leah. He knew what he signed up for. Besides, it looks better this way.
What looks better this way?
Sasha put a single finger on Leah's lips and motioned the dead life soldiers into the room. She leaned over Leah and whispered into her ear. Their suits pull small amounts of wild silt up from the ground. Spikes for impaling, flat segments to break legs or ankles, whatever the situation calls for. What I want you to imagine is them impaling each other. Can you do that?
You want me to.
Leah, you have nothing to lose.
Okay, Sasha. Whatever you...
2 spikes of silt erupted from the ground, impaling both boys before melting away.
Targets destroyed.
I didn't mean to kill them.
Sasha covered Leah's mouth and spoke to her in a sharp whisper, undoing Leah's restraints as she spoke. We don't have much time. Jolene was going to keep you in this room until she had all the prophecy shards or until you died, whichever came first. Now listen. If you go directly to Famine, per the contract you sealed, she can't activate the tracker box. Shortly before Conclave was enabled, someone hit one of Jolene's tripwires. She knows that someone was trying to activate Conclave. The override in your head can turn Conquest technology against those who wield it. Your turbine is at the north end of the Coliseum. It's biolocked to you. Take it and go to Famine immediately.
Okay, what's going to happen to you?
Sasha smiled. Don't worry about that. Just do me 2 favors.
Okay.
Sasha took a deep breath before speaking. Repeat after me. Local activation points.
Local activation points?
There are 3 local activation points. All 3 have been armed.
Leah, this might not be a good... Sasha continued. Say, destroy.
Destroy.
Destruction imminent. 1 minute warning.
1 minute warning?
Sasha nodded. Run, little Rover. Be the speaker we all know you can be.
What about Jonah? Where is he?
Sasha walked through the door of Leah's room. He and Jolene left hours ago. They didn't leave word on where they were going.
What did I destroy? The whole Colosseum?
Sasha snorted before running off. Not even. Just the south side. Say goodbye to the Golden Apple assembly line.
Oh, Sil. What did I do?
It seems as though you've created a sizable distraction we can use to escape from the Colosseum. I suggest you use it.
Which direction is north?
Your left. Without hesitating, Leah sprinted down the corridor. She came to a staircase and leapt down, moving as fast as possible.
30 seconds until destruction.
How far from the north side of the Colosseum are we?
20 seconds.
Okay.
Leah quit running and ducked into a doorway. Leah, what are you doing?
Waiting until the explosion? It wouldn't make much sense to get captured on our way out before the blast goes off. Hopefully this way we can sneak out of the Colosseum.
I think that might prove difficult.
You've never been positive about anything. Can't you at least give this a shot?
I am positive that will prove difficult, Leah.
Why is that, Evie?
The room behind you is filled with dead life soldiers.
That's not funny.
You are correct. There is no humor in your current situation. Leah slowly turned her head to see a room full of dead life soldiers staring at her.
Well, we have nothing to lose here.
Leah, I think you should reevaluate. Leah turned to face the soldiers assembled in the room. They all sat at tables, papers before them.
Gentlemen, I am Leah, speaker of unnatural origin. The Emperor has sent me here to...
The dead life soldiers all stood as one, at attention.
Yes, the Emperor has requested that
Destruction begins in 5.
That I instruct...
Destruction begins in 4.
That I let all of you...
Destruction begins in 3.
All of you know that...
Destruction begins in 2.
The Emperor is proud...
Destruction begins in 1.
Very proud of everything you do.
Destruction begins now.
The Emperor is very proud.
Leah dropped down to a crouch and covered her head, bracing for impact.
Evie, why hasn't it gone off?
I am unsure. Leah stood back up and addressed the dead life soldiers once more.
I... dropped.
Upon hearing the sirens, the dead life soldiers assembled in the room ran towards Leah.
Ah, Silt, I tried to... Ow!
The dead life soldiers pushed Leah out of the doorway and streamed off in the direction she'd come from. Go, Leah, they're distracted.
On it.
As Leah ran through the corridors, people ran in the opposite direction, toward the place where the sound had originated from. Leah exited the Colosseum and looked over her shoulder. She couldn't see any plumes of smoke in the night, but she could smell it.
Which one, Evie?
Leah stood before 5 turbines, each a different color. In the middle was a scarlet turbine with a chalky lightning bolt drawn on either side. Leah hopped on.
Yeah, I am Rover Red.
Hello, loyal listener. Did you know that there is a Rover Red Discord channel? Did you know that those within have been banding together to alter decisions that affect Leah and the Otherwhere? Would you like to join them? If so, please visit roverredpodcast.com/discord. Or don't. Goodbye. Leah's turbine raced across the Otherwhere, based on the most efficient route ever created, that Evie had provided to Leah with no expectation of thanks. Leah would arrive at the famine capital in roughly a week. She would probably take longer, being a slow, fallible, inefficient human. Leah piloted her turbine to the top of a hill that looked over the famine province, and to the south, the province of war. She stepped off of the turbine with her slow, fallible, inefficient human legs.
Evie?
Yes? Leah?
Is something funny?
No, Leah. Nothing is funny about this situation.
Quality. Is that massive gray building to the south a Rover compound?
No, Leah. There are no Rover compounds in the province of War.
What is it then?
We have very little info on that province, but it is reported that similar monoliths can be seen all along the province border.
Should we go see what they are?
Does being tracked down like animals by bounty hunters sent on behalf of Jolene sound enjoyable?
No.
Then I suggest you avoid crossing into War.
What are those two bright spots back the way we came? The purple ones.
I am unsure.
I feel like
Leah's words trailed off as she watched a slot on top of the monolith slide open. Something dark and cylindrical in shape emerged. Leah began to ask Evie what it was, but stopped as the cylinder shot straight into the sky, away from the monolith, bright orange fire erupting in its wake.
Is something wrong with my HUD? What is that?
Your HUD is not malfunctioning. That appears to be a rocket of some sort.
Rocket?
They're used for launching things long distances, be they people or weapons.
What does the Book of Rover say about War's use of rockets?
Besides it being a common occurrence, nothing. They've never come down on the otherwhere that's been reported.
Then where are they going?
Space? Someplace else?
Someplace else.
If any place besides the otherwhere exists, they might be landing there.
What are you talking about?
The otherwhere wasn't always the only place where people lived, Leah.
There were other provinces?
No, there were other continents.
Continents? Also, what's space?
This will take a while to explain, Leah. Perhaps we should continue towards the famine capital while I explain.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go.
Leah mounted the turbine and took off toward the famine capital while Evie attempted to build on her tiny view of the world.
There can be otherwheres? Just not connected to this one? And maybe somewhere in the sky?
At its most basic, sure. Leah lay on the floor of a room deep within an abandoned mansion. Sunlight edged the closed door to the room. That last question was her 187th.
Wow.
Indeed.
Why haven't we seen anyone in famine?
Famine nobles and citizens prefer living in large, urban centers, where the nobles can easily tend to their livestock.
So, a whole city of buildings like Ricketts' skyscraper?
Exactly.
Will we come across another city before we make it to the capital?
The most efficient route avoids all cities due to the traffic experienced within.
I want to go to a famine city before we go to the capital.
I'm sure there's a reason why.
There is. I want to know what a famine city is like before I have to deal with attempting to sack the famine capital.
Are you aware that you are still designated as Rover Red?
No, Evie, I forgot.
That is a symptom of repeated brain trauma.
Moving on.
Are you aware that famine forces are probably looking for you?
I am.
And are you aware of what those forces will do to you because they believe you attempted to assassinate a famine noble?
Yeah. No, actually. What will they do?
You will be sentenced to feasting.
Feasting?
Yes.
Search the Book of Rover for all occurrences of feasting.
Searching. Complete. Any citizen of another province who has been sentenced to feasting will be restrained and hooked up to feeding tubes. Over the remainder of their life, parts of their body will be removed and eaten one at a time. A new part will be taken as soon as their previous wound heals. Some sentences have been rumored to last for decades. Citizens of famine will never undergo feasting. Instead, their entire bloodline will be exterminated, so they and their descendants can never ascend to nobility.
Silt.
Yes, and they're looking for you.
Great. So what can I do to avoid being captured?
Thankfully, famine only allows the use of very basic conquest technology within its borders.
What does that mean for me?
No one within famine will know what you look like. They will possibly have descriptions of you, but those descriptions will be very basic.
I'm a rover.
Yes. That will be a problem. You can remove your suit and attempt to wear famine fashion, although I'm afraid you will be unable to pass for a regular citizen.
Why?
You're far too small.
Could I pass for a noble?
Yes, but
But?
you don't particularly have an air of nobility to you.
Right. So what else can I do?
You can ask the Rover Council if they have any suggestions.
You're actually suggesting I ask the Rover Council for anything?
We need an out-of-the-ordinary solution for this problem. Nothing about the Rover Council has proven to be ordinary thus far. Leah glanced over at the door and saw that the sunlight edging it was gone.
It's night. Let's start heading towards the closest famine city. I need to figure out if there's some way to disappear into the crowd. And ask the Rover Council if they have any suggestions on what I should do next. I can try to infiltrate a famine city or something else. We need some good ideas.
I can't promise that the Rover Council will give you good ideas, but they'll give you ideas.
Right. Send it.
Message sent.
All right, Rover Council. It's in your hands now.
This was Rover Red. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Your suggestions and votes will determine Leah's future in the Otherwhere. That website, one last time, is roverredpodcast.com/vote. Vote wisely. Rover Red was produced by Bloodworth Creative, starring Madison Martin as Leah, and written by Christopher Bloodworth. If you enjoyed Rover Red, please rate and especially review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you found us. Reviews are important because they keep us on the charts where people can find our show. Rover Red is supported by you, our listeners. For more information, visit our website and click on Support Rover Red in the upper right-hand corner. We couldn't make Rover Red without you. Thank you so much for listening.